Ladies and gentlemen, also like to introduce to you our next speaker, who is Georgina Nakairu Chirunda. Who is going to talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence, and predictive analytics systems. She is a graduate of Northwestern University, Masters of Science in Medical Informatics, which is a hot field. Johns Hopkins University, Master in Public Health, in Biostatistics and Epidemiology. Johns Hopkins University as well. So she got those two at Johns Hopkins University, but 2 masters. Regina, welcome. Let's give her a round of applause, and she's going to talk about it.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The audience, thank you for your time and your listening ears. I appreciate that. I'm going to talk about big data. This is the big data era, and you've already heard about that. Cognitive skills, computing, STEM skills, very, very crucial. This area, like you've heard before, is an area that is growing, and the skills are not enough. So we as Ugandans, I should say, need to pick those skills up. I'm a senior data scientist. I've been in this field for quite a bit of time, but I'm a hybrid of computer skills, computing, statistics, epidemiology, public health, medical informatics. So the IT for me is right there in the middle. You'll not even believe, before I got my master's, my husband kept telling, why don't you go into IT? I said, I don't want to go into IT. But when I went for my medical informatics career, I realized that IT is in the middle of what I really want to do. So IT is an enabler for my skills. So I have the domain knowledge of medicine and public health and all that stuff. And it brings, the IT is right in the middle. So I'm here to talk about how you can bring IT as a career, but also be a domain expert in some of these other fields, medical, nursing, law, business. That is the way I'm going to approach it here. So that's also another career, but the IT is right there in the center. So the skills, you need STEM skills, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So all those can be combined with IT skills that you've had from the previous presenters. There's a shortage of STEM skills, the professionals that you've already had, so I'm not going to go into that. These are some of the good colleges, so many good colleges, state colleges, MIT, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Caltech, name it. Even in Chicago, University of Chicago is really good, and so many other universities. I could go on and on. So this is the big data era, so there's data everywhere. There's data on your cell phones, data on the internet, data on Facebook, on WhatsApp, Twitter, you mention it. The data needs to be analyzed. So as a data scientist, we analyze data, but we use IT skills to retrieve the information, the insights, the knowledge. That is crucial, because you can have a whole sea of data. You don't know what to do with it. Most of these companies are overwhelmed with the data, but what are you pulling out of the data? What are you telling them? What's the end result? What are the insights? There are shortage of those skills where you bring in data scientists, machine learning engineers, people who can do predictive models, but you have to pull out the right information, because you have those of you who've done databases, relational databases. There's data in the database, but how are you pulling it out? What are you pulling? And what is it helping your customer? So as people in this profession and young people coming up, we need to make sure that they're getting those skills where you're pulling the information out of where it is. Maybe it's on a tablet, it's on WhatsApp, it's on a mobile app. These days with sports, you're walking and you have something on a watch that is tracking your steps. And then it's telling you we have everything is going in that area of machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics. Next slide, please. So, Watson, I worked with IBM as a consultant like 2 years ago. And IBM has this system. I want to be I want to apply, use examples that are applicable so you can go look at them and know. Watson is called IBM Watson. It actually won Jeopardy. So this is a system that uses machine learning and artificial intelligence. It's called a supercomputer. Ms. Jeannie Rometty, the CEO and president of IBM, presented at CBS Morning Show on 60 Minutes about AI, and IBM has this computer that is called Watson. So you can even go to YouTube and look it up and see what it does. And IBM, it really wants young, energetic, innovative individuals who can work on the system. So it's man and machine, so it's a supervised learning. Not to get so technical, I don't want to get so technical. I want to apply so that people can understand. And then, you can get into the more technical part. How is it used, Supervised learning in very simple terms is, for example, I'm going to use a medical example. When someone has cancer, and they diagnose that you have cancer. So they look at the cells, they make an image and whatever scan. Now, they're using machine learning and artificial intelligence to make a diagnosis, meaning that algorithm in the back that a data scientist comes up with, or a machine learning engineer, when they come up with that algorithm, they're going to say supervised learning means that they are looking at that when another cancer cell, you train the algorithm whereby if another cancer cell comes up, they'll know, oh, that's what the algorithm is going to say. Wow, I've seen you before. This is cancer. This is breast cancer. So that's some of the applications of machine learning, that they use the machine to learn, so it's trained, and it will know next time to recall, to remember that, oh yeah, that's how they use it. So it's knowledge processing and information, personalized medicine in the medical field, where you're looking at, different things, genomics, looking at genes, they bring it into a personal level whereby not everyone, I can have a disease, but I'm not going to react the same way like my sister or someone else. So all that is being used, these are applications of machine learning and what is going on in the medical fields. And then data science has statistics in it, informatics, computer science, and then we look into the predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is you're using statistics to predict. They predict in the bank, they predict the weather, they predict what you're going to eat. You have a retail store and you want to know how many customers are going to come in another 2 days. You make a forecast. So all that is machine learning, AI, and it's so much stuff in the back. Next slide, please. And that's the CEO of IBM. So IBM is big on machine learning right now, and they're hiring a lot of talent in machine learning. So the importance of data science and machine learning, artificial intelligence, is for business owners to drum up your business. Doesn't matter what business. You have a restaurant, know your numbers. How are you going to grow your business in terms of looking at the segments. I don't want to be so technical, but I want to be simple so you can really understand. You're looking at the segments of how are these customers coming in. If you have a tracking system, you can tell that, okay, these customers are coming in at this time. How come this time my profits were low? You can look into the data or hire someone if you can afford that to see what is going on with your business, drill into the numbers. Now for medical, you have a disease diagnosis. I spoke about the cancer use case. You can enhance surgery, and I'll give you a personal Example, my daughter is going to do pre-medicine. She's at Yale. And I introduced her to this field. So she was saying, no, I want to do pre-med. And I said, okay, but you can combine it with computers, okay? Because by the time you become a neurosurgeon, what she wants to aspire to be, you can be that surgeon who's in the back designing the algorithm that's going to enhance surgery. Because these days, everything is changing. So just because you're in the medical field does not mean you can't tag on computers. So I'm here to tell you that IT is here to stay. So it doesn't take anything away from what you want to do. If you've always wanted to be a nurse, you can still be a nurse. But that nurse who has IT, who has machine learning, who has AI, you're going to be more marketable because you already know the domain knowledge. You know how patients come in with diseases, you can help diagnose this, you can give them medication, all that with IT. So I'm trying to tell you that you don't have to leave your career. You can add these skills that we've been talking about and even make it better. And trust me, you'll be even more marketable because you understand the domain, the subject matter, and now you're adding in IT, data science, analytics. You'll be hot, I'm telling you. I'm a living example of that. Not that I'm trying to be funny here. And then also clinical trials in the medical field, how they can use AI, data science to understand clinical trials, to mine the data, medications, on what medications work and which ones don't. All that is analytics in the back. For telecom companies that are trying to see why a customer is leaving, what products they need, all that is machine learning, data science, predictive analytics, all that in the back. So you don't have to leave your field. You just have to enhance your career by adding all these skills that we've been talking about. I talked about retail, which is utilization of products. The telecom, churn is the loss of customers. I worked with Verizon for a bit of time, so I was able to design an algorithm that was able to help them kind of understand what's going on with some of their customers, why are some defaulting, and things like that. All that was machine learning and data science and predictive analytics. You predict to see what's going on, but understand the numbers so you can do something about it. As you had, it's all about problem solving. What is the problem? Then you use the technology and your domain knowledge to solve those problems. If you can do that for companies, Google will be running after you and all these big companies. We talked about AI, rather Watson. It's a supercomputer, it's cognitive. It's a mathematical algorithm, so if you're in mathematics, don't just let it be mathematics. You can add on some of these other skills, the computer skills, and you'll really be marketable. Because there are some students who are really good at math, but they just study math and then what? So you need to add some of these hot skills to make it even better. And it's used in many industries, financial, the bank. When someone is trying to hack into your system, that's data science. And let me give you a quick example of how it's being used. For example, you log into your computer to check your money, right? Or on your phone or something. Then they have these people in the bank who they have a sniffing algorithm, if I should say, that tells you that, guess what? Now this particular individual logged in at 2 in the morning, but that's not your pattern. So there are algorithms that are predictive that tell that this is wrong, so they flag that. That's how they use it. They use it for fraud detection and other things. In healthcare, it's used in public health, in the pharmaceutical industry. So if you're in the public health arena or pharmacy or medicine, you can add on these skills and still have a healthy career because you have invested time in that, but you can still add on the IT. So you're not losing anything. Gas and oil, trust me, there's a lot of opportunity there in the weather, even agriculture. You'll not believe it. They need algorithms that can predict your yield, what's going to go on with the weather patterns. Data scientists are working in all these fields and many more. Next slide, please. Okay, these are some of the big data technologies, and you spoke about it already. R is a statistical software, and those are some of the websites. Python, it's a scripting language, and all these are open source. SAS, which is statistical analysis software. SAS used to be very hot, and it's still hot, but you will not believe it. 18 years ago, if you knew SAS, you're guaranteed a job. I mean, even now you are, but you cannot just have SAS. As a data scientist, you need Python and R, because now these have taken over. That's how quickly this field changes. R and Python have taken over, and you write very small code, sentences of code, and it's very powerful. For SAS, you have to write lines and lines of code to get something in there. So all these you could learn on the web, remotely from your computer at home and things like that. So you can, the YouTube videos have all this and some of the other links that they sent you, or rather talked about. Hadoop, which is also used to be, it's still hot, but not as hot as it used to be. There's Apache Spark that came up. So you can have all these skills under your belt, but they need them. And another one that I forgot to talk about, which is not here, is Tableau. Tableau is a data visualization software, and QuickLink, and some others as well. But Tableau is really hot. All it does is data visualization. You can load it up from any of these data warehouses, any of your Excel spreadsheets, and then it gives you beautiful, beautiful data visualization. Why do I say data visualization? Because some of your end clients may not want to know the statistical jargon or the IT behind it, but they want to see a nice chart of what's going on. You have a business and you want to see January to December, what is my growth? When you put it on a data visualization, you'll be able to say, in January, something happened, then now it went up, then in September it was going up. What is going on? So you can drill into the data and be able to know that something is going on, and then you can do something about it. Maybe you're losing money and you thought you're making money. So that's why I put data visualizations on there. And then if you want to present to your clients, if you have all the good statistics, the numbers coming out, and you put it in a nice data visualization, it adds a lot to your story. The big data technologies, we talked about them. One that I want to talk about is the H2O, is another one as well. Hortonworks, Scala, Java, they talked about. And then the cloud computing, they talked about Amazon, AWS, Cloudera, next slide, please. And then I also wanted to talk about health informatics, because I'm in that field as well. For people in the medical field, doctors, public health professionals, nurses, nurse practitioners, they're very good at what they do, but they can enhance their careers with health informatics and medical informatics, and also add a bit of coding if they want to do that. So because this is the data era, you have to move with the times. You can't do business as usual, whereby you go see your patients, write on a paper, whatever. EMRs have come, electronic health records, electronic medical records systems have come, so you have to be conversant with the IT to actually be more successful. And robotics are on the way and already being used. So you want to make sure that you're that nurse who understands the whole entire patient journey, or diagnosis, a doctor, but you can design the system behind, because that's where we're going. So you want to make your careers marketable and very agile, if I should use. Next slide, please. Okay, I put this in here because all of us are business owners in some way. Okay, maybe you're doing something on the side, or you have an actual company. I own my own company, but you always start off with a vision, a dream, have a strategic approach, This is really important, and I have Dr. Say over here. We were talking the other day, and he said it's important we all have some business skills. So that's why I have this slide. Not that it's off topic, it's not. You'll be surprised that you may be in your field, but you have nothing, no clue about business. You're a lawyer having a practice, have no clue about business. Go and take a business course. Take a business class. If you're lucky, you can do even a master's. But if you're a business owner, and all of us are business owners in some way, you should have a vision, a dream, a strategic approach. Be innovative, think outside the box. What can I do differently? You know, there's so much data out there. How do I get to my clients? If you're looking for a marketing approach, there's a lot of use of AI and data science in marketing. Flexible and resilient, because things do go wrong. There are many challenges. So be resilient. Keep at it all the time. That's what it means. Be hardworking. Be a risk taker within reason, of course. Look at your budget. Know your target market. Don't just come up with some, oh yeah, I'm very good at computers, I can come up with all these apps. What are those apps going to do for you just sitting in your closet or on your computer? Know, be targeted. Know your market. Who are going to utilize your app if you have an app? Know your numbers. That's where the predictive analytics comes in. Big data, if you have spreadsheets, how are you uploading your spreadsheets to a data visualization software and things like that? Be aggressive and firm in decision making. All this is important in whatever field you are. And these skills you need. Another skill that was mentioned is communication. You know, gone are the days I'm a computer programmer, I just sit behind my computer, do my thing, go home, get paid. No, you also have to communicate. And how do you communicate effectively in simple language where you're getting to everybody who doesn't understand the technical language? Very important to translate from the complex technical language to simple language that everyone should understand. That is key. And how do you explain to your end client that these numbers mean this and this is what it's going to do for you? In data science, we have something called actionable insights. If I can't analyze my data and get the insights, they have to be actionable, meaning they're going to help make a change or an impact to your community or resolve the problem. At the end of the day, you will not be paid if you can't resolve that problem. You have to come up with something that can help resolve the problem, because it's problem solving. So if you can also take a course in problem solving so that you can get to your client and get to know what they're saying, that is great. Next slide, please. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've got something from this. This is just the beginning. So next time around, we'll probably get into some demos and things like that. But my approach was more introduce you to what this is, how you can apply it. Because some people will say, what is data science? What is machine learning? Where am I going to use it on a day-to-day basis? You're using it already. You know, you even have a bakery for some reason. You have a bakery, you're good at baking. You can predict. You can predict how many customers are probably going to buy your cakes or buy your merchandise. You're in business, you're in law, you're anything. You're predicting all the time. You're using your data. So this is for everybody and for whatever career you're in. You can really move to the next level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Georgina. Definitely a hot field. Now, if you'd allow me,
Alex.
If you would allow me, I know that folks who have some questions, but I wanted to ask, we have Dr. Asaya, who is one of the big researchers, cancer researchers from Uganda, to tell us a little bit about his applying IT in doing his research. There are many databases out there that have all these many medical bioinformatics information.
Thank you.
If we could download them within Uganda and introduce them to our universities, I think we would have students who would at least take us to a different level. Let me see if I can get some